King, welcome. Do that same riff on that one. Same guitar. Welcome everyone. Paul here, Music Villa, Bozeman, Montana. Quentin King, and we're gonna just compare some string gauges today. So we've got on these guitars the Dario, Phosphor Bronze, the Classics, the EJ16s, EJ17s. We have a set of light gauge and a set of medium. Same guitars, right?
I think we should hold the disclosure and see if people can pick it out.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, what do you think?
What did you think?
What did I think?
Did you know
I
which
think
one
from
was
this
which?
side of the guitar, it's I can
feel
maybe I have to be careful to avoid the bias of knowledge.
Okay.
Right. So I believe I could feel a difference, very very slight, in what my fingers were pushing down. Right.
Yep.
Tone wise, I felt like I could hear something, but again, I'm subject to bias. So I think that's why the blindfolded challenges sometimes
I can just tell you what you like.
Well,
and it's
nothing like a blindfold will educate you on the difference.
The blindfold is the toughest test.
Well, I mean, the challenges are tough, but I think the value is that it removes all of the influences and all your preconceptions. And if you're just going by your ears, I think you're frequently surprised with what you hear, and more importantly, what you don't hear that you thought you would.
Well, and for the record, to get the exact comparison, you'd have to have the exact same guitar. We'd have to restring this, play it, cut the strings off, put another set on. Yeah. But we just thought we'd at least try two. They are the same guitar, but there's always slight differences there. But if you just strum that one again, and then I hand you this one. Thing on that one. See if we hear anything. Do you feel a difference? Is what I'm trying to say.
It's not a huge noticeable.
But if you went back and forth a couple times, you'd go, yeah, this.
Somebody who's better or more sensitive would probably instantly recognize a difference. I might be a little bit more immune to that, or just insensitive or ignorant. All of the above. Most likely all of the above.
Smartest guy I've ever met in my life.
But I can hear a difference in the room, and I think I expect it to translate. And this is what I've noticed recently is that for those out there watching YouTube, nothing better than a nice set of earbuds. Noise canceling if you can, headphones, something like that. If I'm listening through my very modest price computer speakers, I will hear differences. But when you put the earbuds or headphones on, it really opens up what's being recorded in the room. Much more closely matches what I'm hearing in this seat. And
also, back to string gauge, 12s and 13s is what we got on here, lights and mediums. When you put a medium on, people are just like, oh, I got to get a medium. It's going to be big. I want that bigger sound. I've seen mediums choke the guitar. Like it doesn't, maybe they don't fit, perfectly through the nut. So if you don't get the guitar kind of set up for that gauge of strings, 13s aren't always going to be bigger. I've seen them, and we did that video a while back with 11s, and 11s sounded the best. So we didn't even do an 11 here. We're just doing light versus medium, but 11s also on that one video sounded really good too. So don't forget about the 11s. But anyways,
don't sleep on them.
Yeah. So this one, do you want me to tell you which one's which?
I think I know. Let's do one more sound, and then we'll see if the folks can give a guess. This will be guitar 1.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna strum. Guitar 1, guitar 2. right, so guitar 2, guitar
Yep.
1.
This one is mediums.
Okay.
So this is
Guitar
the
1
13s. Yep.
was the 13s.
Yep.
Guitar 2, the 12s.
Yep.
Now, I believe I did hear a slight higher end twinkle
Uh-huh.
on the 12s, and I feel like I could hear a little bit lower end on the 13s. Right. I felt like if I had to compare them, it'd be this was slightly
Yeah.
swooped on the treble. That was slightly swooped on the lower end. But it was very, very minor. It
Yeah.
may turn out more when I go back and listen, like,
Yep.
you know, I always do. I go back and, particularly on comparisons, that's
Yeah.
when I hear the biggest differences through the front side, through the
Yeah.
mic, into headphones. It's
You know what we got to do again now, now that we talked about the 11s.
Yep.
We'll do that again, but we'll go 11s, 12s, and 13s, but it's got to be on the exact same guitar. We're just going to have to, you know,
break it up.
break it up,
There you go.
cut them up,
Yeah.
stop the video, pause, get it restrung, come back down. do it
Ladies and
again.
gentlemen, Dustin's sitting behind the camera right now going like this. Just, you know, that thing where you like, you rub your eyes, you're like, okay, yeah. All
And
right.
you're on your lunch break, so we got to hustle.
Yeah.
We got to
We'll-
get
we'll
this
make
stuff
it
done. That's
happen.
why we just, you know, that's why we roll quick here.
Because we're dedicated to the
Yes,
science.
We are.
It's,
Okay,
the
Quentin, well, that
commitment.
was fun.
Yeah.
You can do a little back and forth here at the end and
Yeah.
see if, you know.
FG830s, by the way, Yamaha.
Yeah, the Yamaha FG830, wonderful guitar.
I think we'll talk a little bit more about this
We
guitar
will.
in another video.
I love these guitars.
Yeah.
All right. Quentin, thanks for being here.
You bet.
Thanks for watching, everyone.